Hello students, I am Anuradha Kadam and today we are going to see 6th chapter of 7th Science, Physical and Chemical Changes.
Every day we come across many changes in our surrounding. The changes may involve one or more substance. For example, your mother may ask you to dissolve sugar in water to make the cold drink. Making a sugar solution is a change. Similarly, setting curd from milk is a change. Sometimes milk becomes sour. Souring of milk is a change. Stretching rubber band also represents a change. So if you make the list of the change, so many changes you are able to list out. So in this chapter we have to perform some activities and study the nature of these changes. Broadly, the changes are of two kinds, physical and chemical. Now just we will list some changes around us. In our daily life, we come across several changes. As we discuss the dissolving sugar in a water, formation of curd from milk, cooking of food, cutting of a piece of paper, stretching a rubber band, melting of ice, melting of wax, boiling of water, rusting of iron, burning of candle, burning of wood, burning of coal. So all these are the changes which you have seen so many times. Types of changes. Changes are of two main types. They are physical change and second one, chemical change. Chemical change is a change in which no substance is formed. Physical change is a change in which no new substance is formed. Chemical change is a change in which new substances are formed. This may be one or two. So, when we are discussing about the physical change, so physical change is a change in which no new substances is formed. In a physical change, the physical properties like shape, size, state, etc. of the substances changes. For example, if you take cutting of paper into pieces, melting of ice, boiling of water, stretching of a rubber band, etc. So all these are the physical changes. Here no any new substances is formed. Suppose you consider stretching of a rubber. Okay, so as you release the pressure over the rubber, it will be at a its normal size and shape. Cutting of paper if you take, so if you are cutting the paper, the properties of the paper, suppose the white paper is there and you are able to write on the paper. What is the property of the paper? That we are able to write on it. So yes, we are able to write on the paper. So cutting of a paper into pieces is a physical change. Melting, some physical changes are reversible. Suppose for example melting of ice, boiling of water, stretching a rubber band. So all these are the physical changes, but these are the reversible. As you are aware, some physical changes are reversible. So as we see, melting of ice, boiling of water, stretching of a rubber band are the reversible changes. In last year you are aware about the reversible changes. Okay, so as we melt the ice, if we keep, after melting the ice we are getting the water, and if again we are keeping the water in the freezer, so we are getting ice back. Boiling of water means after boiling vapors get formed, and if you condense that vapor, so again we are getting the water back. So in this way these changes, some physical changes are reversible. Now chemical change. Chemical changes. Chemical change is a change in which new substances are formed. A chemical change is also called a chemical reaction. For example, rusting of iron, burning of wood, formation of curd from milk, cooking of food, etc. During a chemical change, the following changes take place. First, formation of new substance. Second, heat or light may be absorbed or released. Third, sound may be produced. Fourth, a color may change or the color change may take place. Fifth, a change in smell may take place. A gas may be formed. So all these are the changes may be taken during this chemical change. One by one we will see the changes. So first we will consider burning of magnesium ribbon. So burning of magnesium ribbon is a chemical change or means the chemical reaction. So just we will see this. So when a strip of a magnesium ribbon is heated over a flame, it combines with oxygen and burns with the bright white light to form a powdery ash which is called as magnesium oxide. This reaction can be written as a magnesium means Mg plus oxygen means O2. It will give magnesium oxide nothing but the MgO. If the magnesium oxide is delivered in water, if the magnesium oxide is dissolved in water, it forms a new substance called as magnesium hydroxide. It turns red litmus blue. So it is basic in nature. As we have seen in acid, bases and salts, if the red litmus turns to blue, the solution must be basic. So magnesium oxide is a basic solution. The reactions can be written as magnesium oxide plus water. It will gives us the magnesium hydroxide. Okay, as a hydrogen is involved in this reaction. Now reaction between the copper sulfate and iron. Dissolve copper sulfate in a beaker and add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to it. The solution is blue colored. Drop a nail or a shaving blade into it. Observe the color of the nail or blade after half an hour. A brown deposit of a copper is formed over the nail or blade, and the solution's color changes to green due to the formation of iron sulfate. The reaction can be written as copper sulfate CuSO4 plus iron Fe. It will gives iron sulfate. Means CuSO4 plus Fe, it will gives FeSO4 plus copper. So here you are able to observe this. The brown or the copper layer is deposited over the iron nail, and the blue color is a change or it get fed up, and afterwards it changes to the green color. Reaction between vinegar and baking soda. Take some vinegar in a test tube and add some baking soda to it. Gas bubbles are formed with hissing sound. The gas formed is carbon dioxide. The reaction we can write down as vinegar means the acetic acid and baking soda means the sodium hydrogen carbonate. So vinegar plus baking soda gives the carbon dioxide plus other substances. If the carbon dioxide gas is passed through the lime water turns milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate. This is the taste for carbon dioxide. The reaction can be written as carbon dioxide means CO2 plus lime water CaOH2. It will gives us calcium carbonate plus water. Means CO2 plus OH2, it will gives us CaCO3 plus H2O. Rusting of iron. Yes, all these we are discussing the chemical changes. Rusting of iron causes the damage to articles made of iron. Rusting of iron takes place due to the reaction between iron and oxygen and water or water vapors. The reaction of rusting of iron can be written as iron means Fe plus oxygen means O2 plus water H2O. It will gives rust. Rust is nothing but the iron oxide. Fe plus O2 plus H2O, it will gives us the iron oxide. Rusting of iron can be prevented by So one, applying oil or grease. You are aware so many machineries are there. So we are normally using, or simply our bicycles or our vehicles are there. So we are using the oil. With using the oil, what we are doing, we are applying one layer of oil over the iron or that machine, by which what happen, there is no any contact with the atmospheric oxygen. So the process of rusting will not be complete. Applying a paint. Yes, you have seen so many iron material is get painted with the different color of paint. In your school also, if the iron benches are there, so they painted with the different colors. So why? Because again the same, we have to avoid the contact with the atmospheric oxygen as well as the water vapors or the water. So applying a layer of the paint, what happened? Yes, there is no any contact with the atmospheric oxygen. Coating a layer of metal like zinc or chromium. The process of coating a layer of zinc on iron is called as galvanization. As the coat is given, so it prevents the rusting of iron. Now the crystallization. The process of obtaining large crystal of a pure substance from its solution is called crystallization. To prepare crystals of copper sulfate, take some water in a beaker. Add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to it. Heat the water. When it starts boiling, add powdered copper sulfate slowly and stir the solution till no more powder can be dissolved. Then filter the solution and allow it to cool. Crystals of copper sulfates are formed. Here you are able to see this is the powdery copper sulfate. We have to add, we need to take the water, add sulfuric acid and starts to boil. When it starts to boil, we have to add the copper sulfate solution. After boiling, we have to filter it and keep it for cooling. Afterwards, you will get the pure form. Now we will just solve the exercise question. First question is, fill in the missing word in the blank spaces in the following statements. And from that, A is wind is ... air. Yes, wind is moving air. Second, B, winds are generated due to uneven heating on the earth. Third, near the earth's surface, ... air rises up whereas ... air comes down. So near the earth's surface, as you are aware, the warm air rises up whereas cold air comes down. Air moves from a region of a high air pressure to the region of the low air pressure. Second question is, suggest two methods to find out wind direction at a given place. See the solution. Method of finding out the wind direction at a given place are as follows. The first, by seeing the direction of the dry leaves released in the air, and second, by seeing direction in which it is difficult to ride the bicycle. Another also examples you can find out. Question 3. State two experiences that made you think that air exerts pressure other than those given in the text. Okay, means here you have to write the experiences which you get, okay, but other than the text. So when we feel the air in the balloon, it becomes tight, and if we try to feel more air in balloon, so it get burst, which proves the air exerts the pressure. Second, wind causes the curtains, doors and windows to move with the direction of the wind. This demonstrates air exerts the pressure. Fourth question. You want to buy a house. Would you like to buy a house having windows but no ventilators? Explain your answer. Yes, and the solution is it is not a good idea to buy a house without ventilators because warm air is lighter than cold air. Hence, warm air passes out of your home through ventilators. Accordingly, without ventilator, warm air will not escape out or not pass out, and the house will remain warm. Fifth question. Explain why holes are made in hanging banners or the hoardings. Holes in the banner helps air to pass through it. Hence, banner can withstand the pressure of the air and hence remains intact. Sixth question. How will you help your neighbor in a case of cyclones, approaches your village or the town? So yes, you can help, we can help our neighbors in case a cyclone approaches by any of the following measures. So first, by helping them to shift a safer place, by helping them to shift their animals, necessary household and vehicles to a safer place, or by calling emergency services such as fire station, police and medical centers. Then seventh question. What planning is required in advance to deal with the situation created by cyclone? Solution. We should not ignore. So just see, it is very important. We should not ignore the warning issued by the meteorological department through the TV, radio or newspaper. We should make the necessary arrangements to shift the essential household goods, domestic animals and vehicles, etc. to safer place. Avoid driving on road through the standing water as flood may have damaged the road. Phone number of all emergency services like police, fire brigades and the medical centers should be handy. Always store drinking water for emergency. Do not touch the wet switches and fallen power lines. Do not pressurize the rescue force by making undue demands. Cooperate and help your neighbors and friends. Eighth question. So, eighth question is, which one of the following place is unlikely to be affected by a cyclone? Chennai, Mangaluru, Amritsar and Puri. Solution is, the answer is Amritsar because Amritsar is far away from the sea while the remaining three are the coastal area and are likely to be hit by a cyclone. Ninth question is, which of the statement given below is correct? In winter, the wind flow from the land to the ocean. In summer, the wind flow from the land towards the ocean. A cyclone is formed by a very high pressure system with very high speed winds revolving around it. The coastline of India is not vulnerable to cyclones. And the answer is, first, in winter, the winds flow from the land to the ocean. Now, some extra questions which frequently asked. Explain why holes are made in the hanging banners and the hoarding as we have seen. How you will help to your neighbors in the case of cyclone approaches to your villages. Do you want to buy the house? Would you like to buy the house without having the ventilator? So these questions are frequently asked, but you must aware the reasons behind it.